I try to make us English.
Yes. Speaking very good hard. Let's see.
I put more words together. Starting to sound like
Brain and brain. What
English
brain?
before?
Packlids. I have the biggest hat now.
We are smart.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was watching a documentary today, and they had some people from like the Navy, and they had the Navy hats in there, and all I could think of was the Koreans with their ginormous hats. We have the biggest hats now.
Oh, has the biggest hats now.
The title card, the good of all looks like some inspirational poster.
It does.
And now, Deep Thoughts with Khan.
How can I kill this guy?
I will be your friend until you are no more use to me.
That's right. All right, we need. You are live. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've been
live for 10 minutes.
When I said I'm making more English.
I'm alive. Okay, we don't have the rights for that either. So
He's got like a little steaming hot tub in there for the other episode.
Do what now?
Ooh, that's cruel.
Don't tell them what you saw. So it'll be a surprise.
Okay.
Nice work on the artwork.
Let's see. The sound of one person, one hand typing with the other hand typing as well, I guess is what that is.
Sound two one hands typing.
Yes. What else we got
Cat
here?
is summoning me from the hall.
Meow.
This is riveting to everybody to watch.
You like that, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you guys talk. I'm typing.
I'm also typing.
Hey, they're not even watching you type, but just literally watching you as you type.
Nobody's watching.
I can put the microphone down where the clickety click part is.
Oh, that would be exciting. And then move the camera down to your fingers so we can see some action.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Did y'all see that picture I put? This is a little screenshot where I said AI knows us too well. It says, "Welcome to the top. Welcome to Topic is Trek. We tried with one host. We tried with two, but it turns out you need 3 idiots to run a starship."
And Gary says, "I guess." Gary said, "I guess that makes me and Joe the red shirts."
Yeah. I laughed when it said that.
Okay.
It takes 3 idiots to run this starship.
I guess I'm as ready as I'm going to be.
All right.
Okay.
I got 2 stories right in a row, but that's all right.
Yeah, you can drop the last one if you want to at the end. That's your call.
The last what?
Oh no.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Dave was on the Trek Files again this week. The guy from ASU that runs our United Federation of Planets.
Oh.
He's not currently the president, but for all intents and purposes, he's the figurehead. Anyway.
Does he have that white beard and the little tiny glasses?
Does he have the Grand Poobah hat or the Royal Order of Water Buffaloes or something?
He's dressed as Captain Morgan for Halloween. That's all I got in my head right now. Shall we?
Well, yes, let's.
All right. In 3, 2.
This is The Topic is Trek, episode 191 for Friday, November 21st, 2025. Coming up in this episode, here we go again. Khan has feelings. Prodigy lives, at least as far as the Emmys are concerned. All that and more right now on The Topic is Trek. 9th time is the charm. Welcome to The Topic is Trek, the podcast that runs on impulse power. Join us for a journey where no show has gone before. If it has to do with Star Trek, there's a good chance we'll talk about it. Sooner or later, because on this show, the topic is Trek. Engage already. I felt like I sounded a bit more echoey than normal this week. I don't know what that was all about. Well, hello, and welcome to another thrill-packed edition of The Topic is Trek. I am Clinton, one of your co-hosts here on the show. We've got a lot to talk about this week, and I said we've got a lot to talk about because that's right, I have co-hosts. Oh, have I got co-hosts? So first, beaming in to join me from parts unknown with the hip new catchphrase that you may want to get for Christmas. I don't know. It's Mr. Craig Stepp.
There are 4 tries. Technically, there's more. You just said so at the title.
Yes. Try again. We'll be talking about that in a few minutes.
Yes.
But also, we got to bring in our other co-host who usually we hear him before he shows up, but not this time. Maybe he's got the silencer going on the transporter.
He's talking on mute.
Is Mr. Chuck Tomasi.
Is this thing on? McCoy, you're still on mute.
Yeah.
I mean, Jim.
Darn computers.
That's right.
Well, how have you gentlemen been since last we were here in the little
good.
box?
Yeah, been really good. I went to Scotland looking for Scotty, but he wasn't there.
Oh,
You've been back since then. We've done a show since then.
Did we?
Oh yeah,
we did
2 weeks ago.
So maybe
oh,
you
right
were
when I came back.
Search
Right.
wasn't back yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't back yet.
Yeah. Search results were still pending.
Yeah,
I left my scotch in Scotland.
that's right.
Well, how do you guys feel about the latest news from Paramount? And I'm not talking about a movie. I'm talking about price increases on the way.
Yippee!
Actually, all of the streaming services are increasing.
Yeah, and I didn't get a chance to find out if this was holding true for the other streaming services as well, but Paramount is also dropping the free trials.
Oh, are they? I didn't see that part. Oh.
Yeah. You want the shows? You got to pay up.
Hang on, let me tighten my belt another notch.
There you go. Can you spare a dime and a streaming service? Although
It's getting a little crazy.
there's also, here's a tip for you. The Walmart service, which is the competitor to Amazon Prime,
Yes.
they just lowered their yearly fee to $49, and you still get your choice of Peacock or Paramount Plus with that. And
Oh, really?
And I believe you can switch back and forth during the time you have it. So you can, a couple of months here on Paramount Plus, a couple of months on Peacock, which is exactly what listening to the earnings call, exactly what Paramount and David Ellison don't want happening. They don't want to have anybody leaving the service for any reason whatsoever.
Well, yeah, it's a big interest to them to keep everybody. Yeah.
So that's, we speculated conversations about this whole idea of having the Ultimate Fight Club and all this other stuff going that they're now adding to the service. So there's a couple of reasons for that. And one of them is because apparently the male demographic, especially when the Masters is over, they check out until football season.
Mm-hmm.
So they're looking to have something that's exclusive to Paramount that they think younger males will like. Now, I don't know what the ratio is to young males, to young females, to older males who watch any of this stuff, but that's their thinking as to why they're getting some of this stuff, is to cover all the bases all year long. So you have no reason whatsoever to cancel it. And apparently the Ultimate Fight Club is it's only on Paramount. I guess they're not spread out like NASCAR and the NFL and everything. It's there or nothing for watching that. So,
well, for better or for worse, for us, I'm sure we'll be subscribed to Paramount Plus year round. So, and there's a lot of people that do that because of Star Trek and other things that, and they also have obviously a very compelling movie library.
Yes. And also you can catch the shows that were on CBS, if it's any of those shows, or not even current stuff, old stuff. Hey, I think I'll do a binge watch of Cheers or something like that. You can
Yeah,
do that as well.
that's right.
That's a long binge watch, though, isn't it? It's a really long binge watch. Kind of
Yeah.
like a binge watch of Seinfeld, or how about a binge watch of Supernatural? Yeah, that'd be a weekend
You
times.
might shave off 2 years off of, was it 10, 12 seasons?
I think it was 400 seasons of that
It
show.
was like 14 or 15 seasons.
Yeah, something crazy. Yeah.
They started
like-
off as 14-year-olds and they ended up retiring at the end of the last
Pretty much.
season.
That's like Doctor Who range, you start getting that far. Or Simpsons, I guess.
They had to cancel the show because they really did go to heaven.
That's right.
Right.
Well, I don't have a great segue out of that to our next thing, so we're just going to go to it. We're going to start. Oh, but spoiler alert on this one, because we're going to be talking about the next 2 chapters of Star Trek Khan, which are chapters 6 and chapter 7. So if you have not listened to those chapters, we will be doing plenty of spoilers. You can catch these shows on all sorts of streaming services that are free, so you don't have to pay for a subscription to Audible or something to listen to it on
YouTube?
Spotify. YouTube has it. Plenty of places to get it from. So
Let me play it.
Yep.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
There we go. You've
all
been
right.
officially warned now.
Absolutely. All right. So let's see. Who wants to give the information on main mission part 1?
I do.
The chair recognizes what's
Mr.
his name?
Stepp from North
What's his name?
Carolina. What's
I
his
didn't say I recognize him that much. I just
right?
recognize him.
red shirt?
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
All right. So we're talking about Star Trek Con episode 6, The Good of All, written by Kirsten Beyer and David Mack.
Again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Based on a story by Nicholas Meyer, directed by Fred Greenlaw. Greenlaw.
It's there phonetically.
Greenhalgh.
I'm reading the name and then I see the phonetics. Okay, Greenhalgh. So, short plot synopsis. So, Khan struggles to understand the Elborians and their leader, Delmonda, while his own people's distrust of the newcomers increases in the face of impending catastrophe.
Indeed. Okay, so let's talk about this one. First of all, overall impressions. Did you like the episode or not like the episode? We're not going to rate it yet, but just overall impressions. What did you think about this episode?
I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I did as well.
All right. So yeah,
too.
I struggled the second time I was going through this, doing my notes on this one. I think more than any of the other ones that I've done, and that might just be because, again, like the last couple of episodes, it's a lot of information dump going on in here, especially when we have the conversation between Delmonda and Khan at dinner. We learned about the pandem. We learned about that they were they left their home planet not of their own accord, I guess, right? They didn't say they were they like given the get out of here, or just like
it wasn't real clear if they were exiled or if it was self-imposed or what happened, in my mind anyway. But I think what the writers were trying to do is draw a parallel so that Khan would go, hey, we're not so different, you and I. We're trying to make a better world for our people because the people back home didn't understand us.
Well,
And
also,
it didn't quite come out that way.
yeah, and also if there's a little bit of not miscommunication, that's not what I was trying to say, but a little bit of, I don't have all the facts. There's a little bit of distrust with them. So you go, I'm not sure exactly why they're here,
right. I mean,
a little bit.
Yeah, I agree that they definitely were trying to show those parallels, and I think the fact that Khan doesn't see it is important because he's inherently not trusting anyone.
Right.
Although it's weird because he is actually a bit more pragmatic about it than say Ivan is about not trusting these aliens.
Well, he's got Marla on his side too, to sort of help him see another point of view, to say, is it so hard to believe that they are being noble of spirit and willing to help us of their own accord? That might just be the way their species is. Oh, I think they're hiding something, and I'm going to find out what it is.
Right. And he kind of just goes on like that, trying to, understand things, but kind of questioning, everything about how they operate. I mean, the idea of, the good of the total and consensus and all these various things. He's scratching his head about all that stuff. He doesn't really
Yeah.
understand it. And you get the impression he doesn't understand it. Therefore, he kind of, I don't know if fears it, but just inherently doesn't trust it because he doesn't understand it.
I got to ask you, how do you imagine the look of an Elborian?
Well, they described him as being very, very almost like pearlescent. It sounded like,
With silvery hair and what?
yeah.
I don't know. I've never really wrapped my head around that image for whatever reason. I
Oh,
pictured more like a walking squid or something.
Mm.
Well, I was thinking of kind of like the Andorians, getting white hair and stuff. Not necessarily with the antenna, but
You're picturing 2 arms, 2 legs, a head.
yeah,
eyes,
they got to
mouth.
be relatable. I mean, I guess they don't have to be, but I assume they were relatable because the interactions they were having. That's why.
Just
And-
wondering how Del Mondo was drinking his vodka.
Well, I know you think he's just like with his mind powers, kind of
Straw?
looking, yeah.
Through his nose? I don't know.
Making it float.
Well, I think initially it seemed like they must be very humanoid because you don't get the impression when they first spot them over at the wreckage in the distance that what are those things, right? To say, well, I
That's
spot
true.
about, spot about 15 or 20, like 100 here and 100 over there. type
And they
of
did
thing.
form a circle, and I think they said they were linking hands or something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to work on that.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's not an alien species that we've ever come across before. So we don't have anything to
Right.
draw on. And the other people we have to draw on, well, they're humans. Everyone else is human. So it's pretty much, some of them are augments, but they're still humans.
Just put some
They're
wrinkles on.
gelatinous.
Put some wrinkles on their forehead would be fine.
Yeah. That'll take care of it. We also have a scene with Tuvok and Sulu, and
Yeah.
they're discussing Dr. Lear. And I don't know, this felt like another, here's a placeholder scene, which involves Sulu and Tuvok.
Yeah. We got to get our money's worth out of these 2 actors.
Yeah, I didn't really get anything out of this that we hadn't already known. And
Right.
Sulu gives a speech about, what Khan is, and he's not a mystery. He's evil, and, causing the sufferings of others. It's inherently evil. And he's just, so, okay, we understand that. And we understand also why he would have that reaction, obviously, going through that twice with Khan. But I don't know. I think with the next episode, we're going to have the same question on my part about, was this scene necessary? Did you need that in there?
Yeah.
I can't say that I was surprised when we get to you want to say something, Craig?
Oh, I was just going to say, well, they kind of, instead of speculating, I mean, I guess they're still speculating, but kind of made it a little more official was Sulu tasked Tuvok to spy on Dr. Lear.
Right. Which, I mean, he's the captain and it's something going on in a ship, I suppose, but she's a civilian. I don't know. It seemed a little sketchy because he had nothing really firm to go on about that to justify wanting Tuvok to do that. It's just like a gut feeling he had. And, Tuvok kind of said, well, I don't feel like there's any big problem. Well, you question my orders? Nope. I'll do exactly what you asked me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And, wish he'd almost had pushed back a little bit more about, well, can you explain? I mean, the captain does not have to explain, but words to the effect of why exactly, other than your experience with with Khan, which is not necessarily related to her research,
Right.
am I doing this?
Well, didn't one of the reviews I did read, it mentioned that they thought the audio drama was leaning into the little bit of tension we saw between Tuvok and Sulu and Voyager in
Okay.
the flashback, where they didn't always see eye to eye.
All right, and I can buy into that. I think that's a good tie-in to have that
Yeah.
happening. I'm not surprised that they didn't find any fish in this underground sea. I don't know about you guys,
Well,
because it's not. I mean, I don't know what the source of the water is, but unless that water is churning, you've got no oxygen being introduced into that water.
well,
True, I thought of that.
you know, I've been to the Lost Sea, which is in Tennessee. It's a underground. They call it an underground lake. Depending on your definition of a lake, but it's a big body of water underwater, and it didn't have any fish in there till they introduced it. And they introduced some, and they never left, so the fish couldn't get out. But there was fresh water that would come in. Turns out they finally found where there's a little bit of water that could get out, but I don't know how that relates to what. I don't know why I'm talking about that.
Well, I mean, in that regard, right? Well, in that regard, that meant that there was water churn,
Right.
of
Right.
some type.
So it was being oxygenated in some way,
Yeah,
as opposed to like the bottom of the Black Sea that's anaerobic. It has no oxygen. So there's no life down there, including bacteria. So wooden shipwrecks that sunk 1,000, 2,000 years ago are still intact. So it is quite feasible if they had known. I don't know. Could they tell that there was no oxygen in the water and therefore no fish, or was it no fish, therefore no oxygen?
I think it's just they came to the conclusion there was absolutely no life in there. So that was my explanation as to why isn't there, is because it's just still water. There's nothing happening there. And then we have, when you poke around in a cave, things happen.
Yeah. I found the bear.
Yeah, pretty much. You have Ursula, Paolo, and Marlowe scoping out, and boy, Ursula was leaving. Well, everything this is too small, and I need to have my stuff over here. And I mean, oh right, it's a cave. Just calm down. It's a cave. And Marlowe finds, this wall, it's kind of hollow sounding. There's another room past there.
I'll hit it with a hammer.
Yeah.
And how could that possibly go wrong?
Yeah. This looks structurally fine.
The 5 minutes I've been down here, so
Yeah.
Can't say that this was necessarily a surprise. I think it wasn't a surprise because we've talked before about the fact of who we see
Later
in Khan's band in Star Trek 2, and you don't have a divergence of age of somebody that's really a lot younger. So I'm going, okay, I don't think this kid survives one way or the other. And it could be a variety of reasons. I don't think the cave-in was on my bingo card, but sure. I mean, okay.
Right.
Not everybody gets eaten by an eel.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm surprised in some ways that there wasn't more made at that point because I think it was Ursula. I think in the beginning of that scene, she's talking about, I don't like the fact that, they're leading us down here and, they could trap us down here and blah, 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 blah. And Marlowe is being very logical. Saying, well, why would they need to do that? They could kill us with their mind powers without coming down here or something. And all of a sudden, this thing collapses, and you would think the first person she'd blame would be the aliens because of that.
They collapsed it with their mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, the fact that you're like, well, they could probably have told it was not sexually, it's structurally sound or sexually sound either, I suppose.
She did lose the baby.
Wait,
Spoiler.
which episode are we on?
But that's not the part they wanted to talk about. Structurally sound.
Yeah.
But again, they just kind of, we find out later that Ursula blames somebody else for all that stuff going on.
I'm just confused about what episode you were listening to.
I know. Well, it's the special after hours version of it.
Con After Dark.
Let's see. So what have we got? What else happens? What else happens here in this here episode? So we find out that Hassan and Ivan have been tasked with keeping an eye on the aliens.
Mhm.
Just report back. What are they doing? Just keep an eye on them. That's all you got to do. Just, find out what's happening. That's all you got to do. Just do that. Nothing else. Just do that. Got it? Okay, just do that. Ivan has other plans.
Yes, he does.
Because he's Ivan.
Yeah. So he's poking around, getting closer to the cave, which he wasn't supposed to do in the first place. And he comes across, and I actually got the name. Where is it here?
Ed.
Scandana.
Seconda.
Wakanda, excuse me. Yeah.
Santana.
Yes, he comes across Carlos Santana. No, he comes across
I
and
didn't say Santana.
Came
And he gives- he
across
gives
an
a-
anaconda.
Wakanda.
he gives a
Wakanda.
friendly greeting with
The Vulcan.
a
Hey.
Vulcan hello.
A Vulcan.
Pretty much what he gives. The good old Vulcan hello.
Yes, he does.
And then it's unclear to me when he stopped by some more, a little too late, by some more Elborians, whether or not there was one, because they stop him. Well, the Elborians stop him, but you get the impression that one by themselves really couldn't do that because, Seconda tried to get inside Ivan's mind
He
and
didn't
it
like
didn't
that.
work.
No.
But this other one is so I don't know if we only heard one, but there were more than one that came along and essentially put him into kind of a trance, I guess is
Almost like a stasis.
Mhm.
Is how I felt.
yeah. So they get in touch psychically with Marla to say, well, come to the caves where we are because Ivan is here.
Yeah, Domanda. I am both near and far. Well, that's clear as mud.
And while he's off doing that,
Yeah.
Khan is off like lifting giant boulders, which apparently no one else can do because he shoves them all to the back when he tries to get the boulders off of.
Oh, he just wanted to show off again.
I know he's very protective of his people.
And he hasn't had a workout this week.
Yeah.
All right. So Khan finds out that Ivan has not been doing good things. And then we get the second shock is that the Elborians are building a spaceship,
What? Yeah.
but it's not for them. It's for you and you and you. Exactly, Eric's. And then we have Dr. Lear and Tuvok talking about, oh, you've been spying on me. Yes, I know I've been spying on you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. Whatever.
She does. There are a couple of tells in here. I forget if it was this episode or the next one where she gets pretty flustered. It's like, calm down, just calm down, calm down, calm down.
Mm,
And she has to calm herself down. Like, what got her so riled up?
right.
Who? What'd you say? Who was it?
Dr. Lear.
Oh, yeah.
She had one of those conversations with Tuvok and
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
wound her up, and she had to like kind of like Barkley, tap on the neck and go, calm down, calm down.
Yeah. Well, I think it's probably because maybe she feels like she's being.
Well, she's definitely being scrutinized.
Yeah.
Like I said, kind of beyond reason.
Mhm.
She's being secretive, and I think Tuvok even told Sulu that. He said she's not telling us the whole story here.
Mm. Right. And he tells Lear that her work has aroused some suspicions. And he feels that Captain Sulu is just, it's unfounded in an emotional reaction, but, still, he says, anything you can tell me to help me out here with what's going on. And she does reveal at least one thing. She says that, well, she got the recordings from Del Monda.
Dun dun dun.
What? So she's been working with him.
Yeah, shocking of shock. Well, you,
Oh boy, this guy is one nebula short of a galaxy.
I'm telling you, absolutely.
Oh boy.
So yeah, it's like I said, very dense as far as information goes in this episode, with especially with the conversations that Khan and Delmonte have about where they're from, how the pandemic works, you know, what their plans are, all the stuff, and trying to be able to be um, buddies. You know, they're here together and trying to make all that work.
Yeah, but if Ivan hadn't gone rogue, there's a
Yeah.
good chance they could have gotten off City Alpha 5
was gonna
before
say,
things went
yeah,
sideways.
It does kind of put a monkey wrench into things when that
Yeah.
sort of thing happens.
You need some good plot complications, and
I mean, they
Ivan's a good one.
sabotage their own escape.
Not
And I do-
necessarily.
And I do want to point out that we have a an update total here. We
Mhm.
came into this episode with 4 losses, which was Hugo, Joaquim, Silvana, and Richter, and we leave also with baby Joaquim and Seconda added. So now we're up to 6.
What are you keeping score?
I am.
Baby's
keeping
only a
score.
half a point.
Oh, okay. 5.5? I don't know.
0.5. It's a real person.
All right. Any additional thoughts on this before we rate on whatever we're going to rate on?
What are we gonna rate on?
We'll rate on Cavins. How about that?
I don't. Hey,
Go
don't.
Cavins.
Since this is about Khan, the thing about him is that I'm noticing we talked about he's not quite the
Diplomat?
the villain that we know.
Oh,
Hmm.
So and he's struggling with his even his own pride. So he's remember he was kind of dumbstruck by the altruism from the Aborians.
Right.
So
They're building
I'm-
the ship for him.
Yeah,
for-
so
for
I
his
like how
people.
he's not so one-sided as he kind of looks like if you just only know from the movie.
but
you
can
know.
you really trust him? Can you really trust him, Craig?
Well, you get the impression that whatever he's doing that might be slightly a change of demeanor is the direct result of discussions he's had with Marla.
Yeah.
You know, if she wasn't saying, well, you know, they're aliens and you know, they might be peaceful and blah blah blah, and he kind of pulls back a little bit, doesn't go quite as hard as he probably would have,
Mhm.
much to Ivan's chagrin, but so he does change a bit. I mean, I think we get that same charm that we got from from Space Seed, especially where he's very educated, well read.
Yeah.
You know, we have conversations about Coleridge and you know.
Oh my goodness, they throw in the author references left and right here.
Oh,
so
yeah.
so yeah, and like I said, I think that now some of it may be deception, but I think clearly there are parts of it where it's just that he is slightly softening a teeny tiny bit.
Yeah. You know what's funny is we sound like we're trying to understand him as well going through the story. At least I am, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like I'm stepping into the part of Rosalind Lear, you know, because she's trying to exonerate him, I think, and we're like trying to understand him as we go as well, you know, or maybe not exonerate him, but it's changing our perception of him.
All right, so let me start with you then, Craig, on 1 to 10 cave-ins. What do you think of this episode?
I'm going to give this one probably a 7. You're right. It was pretty dense, but after listening to it the second time, I was like, okay, it was a little more clear about what was going on in some spots. So yeah, I'll give it a 7.
Okay. I think for different reasons, I'm going to give it a 7. I thought that there was some good information in here, but I think for me, even more so on the second listening, it was very dense with stuff. And I think sometimes you didn't hit the right beat. Like a lot of time was spent on the discussion between Khan and Del Monte,
Mhm.
and you have this tragedy that occurs, and it seems like that happens really fast and it's over, and you're done with that. There'll be some consequences, I'm sure, but it just felt like that happened very quickly, where like we were 20 minutes into this dinner with Khan and Del
Mhm.
Monte, and some of that could have been a little spread out at other times. So I would say 7 for different reasons. And what
Okay.
about you, Chuck?
I'm going to give it a 7.5. I
Gotta be different.
enjoyed
Oh.
getting to know a little bit more about the Elborians through the dinner scene. I like the fact that I don't know if it added or included or amped up Ivan to be a plot complication. I think we're going to enjoy how that plays out
Mm,
in the total story arc. Even
Mhm.
so, it's it would be too easy if the Elborians crash landed. We all became friends. They put a ship together and flew away and got help and came back. It's like, we know that's not what happened because
right.
Khan's still stuck on the planet.
That's right.
So some of these scenes that they're building up to, you go, well, I know how this is going to turn out. Who's
Yeah.
going to die and who's going to live? We'll see
Mhm.
that again in the next episode as well. But I'm still enjoying it very much. I'm giving this one a 7.5 cave-ins.
All right. All right. Very good. Very good.
You
So
think we should be like, all you need is one cave in?
that's right.
Yeah.
No. No. You got to go in really hard on this, like
Yeah.
7 or 7.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Time to come back from our first main mission with an appropriate sound effect. Sure. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
And now it's time to head out on subspace chatter after we get the okay first from Charlie. Could be Charlie, could be Mirror Charlie. Don't know yet. We'll find out. So, Charlie, are we all set to go with subspace chatter?
Uh-oh, he's not on this frequency.
You don't need all that subspace chatter.
I'm afraid it's Charlie X.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Charlie, buckle up because we got a lot of news here really quickly. And I'm going to have to spread this story out between the three of us because I want to give some backstory to the story here. All right. So I know we sound like a broken record when we say this, but Paramount has just announced plans for a new Star Trek movie. I don't even know what I'm mumbling about. All right. Before we talk about it, take a walk down memory lane with us as we recap all the seemingly canceled attempts to make a Star Trek movie after the release of Star Trek Beyond in 2016. That's right, just 9 years ago. First up was the pitch by none other than Quentin Tarantino. Remember that one?
I was looking forward to that one.
Yeah, this would have been an R-rated Star Trek film described as a gangster kind of Kelvin 4 movie, perhaps. It was connected seemingly with the TOS episode A Piece of the Action.
Mm-hmm.
Although screenwriter Mark L. Smith did finish a first draft of the film, it seems Quentin had second thoughts about having this movie be the one that would mark the end of his self-imposed 10 movie limit. He's only making 10. He said, only going to make 10 movies in my career.
Yeah.
This would be 10. And I'm going, I don't know if I want to go out on this one. So that's according to the screenwriter, Mark L. Smith, why he thinks that Quentin didn't do it. Oh, but there's more. Chuck?
Next up was the S.J. Clarkson film attempt, which would have been the fourth Kelvin timeline movie. Significantly, this would have marked the first woman in the franchise's 40-year film history to be hired as a director. The script was written by J.D. Payne. I'm going to go with that. And Patrick McKay, and would have centered around the return of James T. Kirk. When negotiations with Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth stalled, the project collapsed. In 2020, Noah Hawley, the writer / director / producer behind the FX series Fargo, was all set to start production on the Star Trek movie. But a change in studio management halted the project shortly before he could start shooting. Or is it pew, 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 pew?
Pew, pew, pew.
Okay. Now, Hawley is revealing more about what his movie was going to be about. It appears the movie would have centered around androids with possibly a TNG connection.
You think?
And
All
we'll
right.
never know. Okay, that was 4. We've got
All right.
more.
So then in 2021, Kalinda Vasquez, a writer on the Star Trek Discovery, was hired by Paramount to write a Star Trek movie. James Abrams' Bad Robot was said to be producing. However, that may not be connected to the movie that J.J. Abrams announced during his shareholder event. He declared that the Kelvin timeline actors were returning and even announced a premiere date of June 89, 2023.
Yeah, that'd be quite the date.
Yeah.
June
How about
9.
2223?
Yeah.
2023. Unfortunately, no one had informed all the actors of this. Despite the fanfare, the project was abandoned. So in 2022, Matt Shankman came on board to direct the 4th Kelvin movie. In fact, it was to be a direct sequel to Star Trek Beyond. Before things fell apart, 4 writers worked on the screenplay: Lindsay Beer, Vaneva Robertson Sorit, and Josh Friedman, and Cameron Squires.
There were actually 2 Star Trek movies in the planning stages in 2024. You keeping track of all this? Paramount Pictures and Bad Robot Productions hired screenwriter Steve Yockey to take another stab at a Kelvinverse film. The whereabouts of that effort are unknown. The other project was an attempt at a prequel known as the Star Trek Origins movie. Led by Toby Haynes, with Seth Graham-Smith tapped as the screenwriter, this film was intended to feature new characters set far in the past. Though once rumored for a potential green light in early 2025, the movie once again fell off the production schedule. That leads us to now. Paramount has hired the creative team of Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly to write, produce, and direct a new original Trek movie. Goldstein and Daly are known for successful high-concept projects like writing Spider-Man: Homecoming and directing Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Amongst Thieves. Sources say their take will be separate from the Chris Pine-led Kelvinverse, which was pretty much confirmed now, and unconnected to any previous series of film projects. It is likely that this film will feature new actors and new characters entirely, offering a fresh journey for fans. The duo is known for balancing comedic chops with high concept and action, suggesting a fun and light approach.
Now, if they had made all of the films that we just talked about, we'd have probably almost doubled the Star Trek film library.
And someplace there, you've got, typed manuscripts, presumably sitting on somebody's desk, that are all these different things, and we'll never see them.
That's right.
Well, so we're not saying that we're not excited about the new movie. We're saying that we've been down this road 8 times already.
Yeah, show me something.
We want to see casting. We want to see a little bit of plot. We want to see filming has begun. These are the things that will really get us excited about, is when things start to actually move.
That's right.
On this project. So we'll keep an eye out for what's happening. Fingers crossed, because we'd love to see Star Trek back on the big screen. And, as somebody pointed out when talking about, really, it's going to be a new Star Trek with all new cast and new characters. Every version of Star Trek has been a new show or a new thing with new characters. Next Generation had nobody from TOS in it. Deep Space Nine only had O'Brien at first. It's like they're all at first. I said at first.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. So all these things start off with totally new characters.
Yep.
So this is no different. So don't judge it on that alone, that it's it's going to be new characters. That could be a good thing.
I just better not see Khan show up again.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a good thing.
No. No.
All right, Chuck, what do you got?
Well, the Second City Comedy Troupe has come up with a new improv show inspired by Star Trek. Former SCTV members, you may remember, include people like Harold Ramis, John Candy, Eugene Levy, John Belushi, Andrea Martin, Martin Short, Dave Thomas, and many others. Of course, none of these people will be participating in the Star Trek comedy insofar as we've been told.
No, because
And
3 of
again-
them have passed away.
Yeah, if Harold Ramis, John Candy, or John Belushi show up, I'm going because that'll be amazing.
Then again, we've never been told anything.
Ghostbusters again?
YouTube link available on our show notes. Episode 191. What did we title this one? Ninth time is the charm. Over at the topic is trek.com.
Yeah. So Star Trek Online has officially added Oopsie, the descriptively adorable but deadly creature from Star Trek Lower Decks, as a new combat companion. Faithful to its on-screen counterpart, the Moopsie functions as a lethal pet that lures enemies in with its cute appearance, Moopsie, before executing a horrific high-damage attack.
What you mean he does what I think he does?
He does do that. So the
He was
highlight of
inspired by the rabbit from
right.
Holy Grail, Monty Python's Holy
You
Grail.
didn't have to say anything else. I knew exactly what you were talking about.
Yes.
So the highlight of the update is the creature signature death animation, which developers have recreated in a gruesome detail. When attacking, the Moopsie leaps onto its target and liquefies their skeletal structure, causing the enemy character to instantly collapse in a boneless heap of skin on the floor.
Sucked his bones out.
Yeah, drank his bones.
Yeah.
The ability serves as an instant kill for standard humanoid enemies and a finisher for high-ranking commanders who are low on health. Finish him. Moopsie.
Yeah, I watched, and we've got a link to some of Moopsie in action
Yes.
in the show notes for episode 191. Ninth time is the charm over at the topic is trek.com. But yeah, he's just there. I mean, he's kind of a little gray because you got to have some texture on him because it's 3D rather than animation. But looking cute, Moopsie, even saying Moopsie, and then the jaws open up and he just springs onto somebody and
right on their neck and starts drinking their bones. Yeah.
And he seems unaffected by any attacks on
Laser fire. Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems to keep roaming around looking for somebody.
Right.
I think he ought to be included in a D&D game somewhere.
Indeed.
Yeah. He is in a game.
Yeah, he's in this one.
Yeah.
So while it looks like the adventures of the USS Protostar have reached their end, the accolades for Star Trek Prodigy keep coming in. Prodigy has received a pair of Emmy nominations.
Wow.
In the category of outstanding writing for a children's or young teens animated series, but they get specific, don't they? The script for The Devourer of All Things Part 1, written by Jennifer Morrow, snagged a nomination. Alongside episodes from Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, Win or Lose, Gentry Child versus the Underworld, and Goldie. Those are the other nominees in the category. And secondly, Trek legend Kate Mulgrew was nominated for her voice work as both Admiral Catherine Janeway and Hologram Janeway in the series in the category of, get this, I said they get specific, outstanding multiple role voice performance in a children's or young teens program.
Between the Chiclets and the Erasers.
Yes, that is a category. This is astounding. This is astounding. Her first Emmy nomination for the role of Catherine Janeway, 30 years after originating the character in 1995. So she was never nominated while Voyager was on, but she got nominated for Janeway for Prodigy.
That's because someone else did the voiceovers during Voyager.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's because the EMH was there causing all sorts of problems.
It was what's her name? The first female captain that was supposed to be on Voyager.
Yes. So,
it was Gilbert Gottfried. Who do you
Great.
Boy, look at this ship. This ship is really something. Where are we going next?
You think we can follow the Borg Queen through the transwarp conduit?
What with those ridge lines on your head?
I don't think the crew would have let him last 7 seasons. But anyway, so the we'll report on whether or not Prodigy wins in these categories. Once again, though, Prodigy is getting all these awards. Lower Decks is getting all these awards. Doesn't mean anything, apparently. Yeah, we'll just cancel that stuff.
They're done.
Not bitter at all. Oh, by the way, Skydance, come January 1st, Prodigy will be up for you to grab and release, bring back on, so you have everybody in the fold again. Just saying.
Just saying.
All right, Chuck, what's up?
So Kirsten Beyer, remember our writer that we keep hearing about from Star Trek Con? Well, she confirmed that Star Trek Con is formally being treated as canon by the franchise's current creative team. She explained that while there is no single authority who declares canon, the events of the audio drama will not be contradicted and will be integrated into future projects where possible. This validation suggests a positive outlook for the production of future Star Trek audio series, implying they could also be integral to the franchise's lore. And she's noted as saying, and I'm not going to do any voices here.
Good.
Okay, here's what I can tell you because I have had a few conversations. There is nobody who comes along and waves a scepter or phaser or whatever and dubs the thing canon.
Although I wish there was. That would be awesome.
I want to see that video.
What I can tell you is that for the people currently working on Star Trek, aka Star Trek Con, it will be treated as canon, meaning it will not be overwritten, contradicted, and it will be, when possible, incorporated into future storytelling. This is great. The article also goes on to talk about Robert Duncan McNeil. He's proposed like a Captain Proton audio drama or short or something in that universe. And that's been poo-pooed in the past. However, with the recent changes in leadership, even old opportunities may be represented and possibly accepted. So there seems to be some open-mindedness about where to take this.
Yeah, I'd listen to that.
Yeah. I mean, I think if I understand correctly, we talked previously about the Scott Bakula possible series.
Yep.
That was also pitched previously, but now they see this as another opportunity to pitch that as well. So,
everybody's dusting off old scripts.
Yeah.
Look at this too.
Yeah, this is new.
The new leadership team is just buried it behind their desk.
Another one. Oh, when will they stop?
I'm looking forward to Star Trek: Ivan.
Welcome to the Island of Misfits script. Somebody wants Charlie X in a box.
Or out of a box. It doesn't matter.
In or out, whatever.
Okay,
right.
Greg, take us away from all that.
So South Korea's Shinjae Group has partnered with Paramount Global to develop a Star Bay City, a massive 4.2 million square meter entertainment complex in, I'm going to say this wrong, Haesewang, approximately 28 miles south of Seoul. The project, led by Shinsegae's subsidiary, Shinsegae Haesewang.
You had to give this to Craig.
I didn't.
No.
He picked it.
You picked this.
Stupid words.
We're just going to call him SH from here on out. I think that'll be
Anyway, is expected to cost 9.5 trillion won, which is about $6.6 billion.
That's still a lot.
9.5 trillion won actually sounds pretty impressive. With a total development timeline stretching into 2050.
Ugh.
I know. Oh, we're going to still be here when this thing opens up.
Oh my gosh.
The first phase, which features 1.19 million square meter theme park, is aiming for a 2029, 2030 opening. Okay, that sounds reasonable.
That's better.
Yeah. So the new destination, and this sounds very familiar, and and you probably know why in a minute. So the new destination will integrate Paramount's extensive intellectual property portfolio, including Star Trek, Top Gun, Mission Impossible, Nickelodeon franchises, as like SpongeBob SquarePants and the Teenage Ninja Turtles. Beyond the theme park, the complex will include a water park, a Starfield shopping mall, a golf course, and luxury hotels. Paramount will be directly involved in the park's design, which I'm sure they already have designs for a park.
Yes.
To ensure immersive tech-forward attractions that leverage their media assets.
Well, I like. They got plans that will ensure immersive, tech-forward attractions that leverage their media assets. I love that. That sounds so much fun for the family.
Hey, I know I've talked about this before on the show, but we've had this. Paramount's had parks before, and I've been to Carowinds, where I basically grew up in my backyard, and we had Star Trek there, and it had Days of Thunder ride. I've had the SpongeBob SquarePants ride. I've done all this. You know,
Well, not only that, we covered very early on, I think, during the topic is Trek, the fact that they were going to Paramount was going to open a theme park in England. I think it was like in the London
Yeah.
area that, take this description and put it there. It was pretty much the same thing. So I don't want to come up with ninth time is the charm for also the theme parks that Paramount is going to do.
right. This one will succeed for sure.
Yeah. So can we get this one moving and then we don't have to do that in like a year or two?
We're going to be too old to ride these rides when we're in 2050.
I know.
Well, that's what we're hoping that could you put the Trek stuff in the 2029 end of things, and that's
Hey,
fine.
You can watch our grandchildren ride them.
Well, at least they're having fun.
This bench feels great. Well,
Does that little boy look like Khan to you?
Which one?
All right. So let's move along. I'll go through this one pretty quick. Star Trek Infection is a new single-player VR survival horror game set to release in December of 2025 on MetaQuest 3 and Stream VR. Developed by Played with Fire and published by Broken Mirror Games, part of the Blooper team. I don't know who that is. The game casts players as a Vulcan security officer aboard the USS Lumen, a ship ravaged by a mysterious mutating entity. Unlike typical bridge crew simulations, this is a psychological and physical horror experience where you must explore a darkened, infested ship, solve puzzles using a tricorder, and even manage your own mutations as the infection tries to compromise your Vulcan logic.
Oh my.
It represents a significant genre shift for Trek gaming, leaning heavily into body horror and atmospheric tension rather than diplomacy and fleet battles.
Macrophage. That's all I can picture.
I just do a barrel roll and it'll be fine. Just keep going.
Your somersaults across the deck.
Yeah.
Are y'all done?
No.
You are.
So there's a trailer in this in the link below, and I watched it, and it was kind of creepy. And I even saw, I was like, I've never heard of. I don't remember us talking about Infection. So I went looking a little bit, and I remember somebody said that about 3 or 4 months ago they were at a trade show and they played it, and it was disturbing. It was really in a good way, I guess. I don't know.
Hopefully in a good way. If disturbing in a bad way, I'm not sure I want to play that. Actually, we talked about it, I think, briefly last episode, the episode before, but they didn't have the trailer out at that point. They had like a very short teaser type of thing, but that was it.
What I saw reminded me a little bit of the way the zombies are portrayed in The Last of Us. It looked a little something like that.
It's too soon after COVID for me to be playing a game about viruses getting loose.
It's not a game. It's not so funny anymore, is it, Chuck?
You're aboard the USS Wuhan. Yes.
All right. On that note, we're gonna head north of the border, or our border, anyway. Maybe not yours. Maybe you're in Canada, to Vulcan, Alberta, Canada. We've got a couple things here. First of all, Vulcan, Alberta, Canada was mentioned in this article on World Atlas they said the 8 friendliest little towns in Alberta.
Hey, there's only 10, so.
Well, still, these are the 8 top ones.
Oh.
And they say Vulcan doesn't tiptoe around its name. It builds an entire community identity out of it. About an hour and a half southeast of Calgary, the town leans into its Star Trek connection with a full-size Starship Enterprise replica at the edge of town and the Trek station downtown, where the walls are covered with space-themed murals. The town welcomes a steady flow of Trekkies and those who are curious. Apparently, if you're a Trekkie, you're not curious. Anyway, June is when everything kicks into high gear. Spark Days has been running for more than 3 decades, and still we have not been invited to be the... Anyway, and the whole... Did I mention about Conan? Anyway, and the whole town shows up. There are slow-pitch teams at Virginia Mitchell Park, not that Mitchell, families crowding the fun fair inside the Vulcan Arena, fireworks, not the fireworks are not inside the arena, and an enormous parade. A 3-day beer garden keeps visitors and locals talking Star Trek until closing. The summer is also home to a Canada Day pool party at Vulcan Pool and Porch Fest, a day of quirky yard performances that entertain just about anyone.
I can see the beer garden now. Hey, Melissa, let's go home and talk about Star Trek some more.
All right, Chester. Anyway, we also remind you that the CPKC holiday train on December 13th of this year, the famous holiday train is scheduled to stop in Vulcan on December 13th. Be aware that there will be temporary street closures in the area to accommodate the crowd and festivities.
Oh, there's only one street.
There's more than one street in Vulcan. And also jingle all the 5K. Ooh, I see what they did there.
It said street closure, not streets closure.
Well, there's one street near the train station. Anyway, the town is gearing up for its second annual Santa Claus 5K run/walk. I'll be doing the /walk part of it, I suppose, if I'm there. While the registration deadline was recently November 15th, the event is a key part of the town's winter holiday kickoff. And so those are just some of the happenings in Vulcan, Alberta, Canada this week.
Yeah,
we need a segue music, a jingle or a stinger or something.
What's their theme song?
Yeah, I should, because they've updated their site. I'll see if they've got some audio there we can pull for that. All right. Now we have an additional 80 links to stories about Star Trek broken out by series, by different categories about comic books, collectibles. We have a section about
some too.
Yeah, that's right. We gotta be talking about that soon. Get that on the schedule. So go there, and you've got plenty of stories to keep you busy until the next time, including a bunch of stuff about all the stuff happening at Paramount Global these days. I did want to do another story about that. However, I will point out that we may be talking about it next time because today was the deadline that Warner Brothers set for all these different parties to submit their bids.
Hey, did you get ours in?
I did.
Okay.
I was surprised they took the $5 bid, but I put it in just in
is
case.
this not a Kickstarter? Oh,
Where did we come up with $5?
Well, there was loose change in the couch, and I just kind of
yeah.
It was all in nickels and dimes.
Some change under the seat in the
This
car.
big heavy envelope comes in the mail.
3 French fries and a $5 bill.
Yeah, I didn't put the French fries in. I should have probably.
It was in McDonald's gift coupon.
So I don't know how that's going to turn out. I don't know whether or not Warner Brothers is going to go, yeah, none of these are good enough. But apparently they are suddenly they're in this big rush to have this done by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but suddenly it's like, oh no, this is the deadline. Everybody got this stuff in.
Tax season coming up.
And you have now it's not just Skydance or Paramount, a Skydance company. It's also Comcast is interested. I think Netflix is interested. All these different parties. So who knows what's going to happen with that? And yeah, if it does happen, then I think we have to have the discussion about what does that mean for everything if that does happen. But that's down the road at this point.
Star Trek and Superman could be in the same house.
They could. As
Crossover. I see a crossover.
I don't know. To me, it sounds like Big Brother. Anyway,
have you ever seen Captain Kirk and Superman at the same time?
No, I haven't. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? All right. It's about time to come back from subspace chatter for one of my favorite parts of the show. And that's when I get to say, especially when it's Charlie X, goodbye, Charlie.
I want to stay.
No.
Looks like he's almost doing a Popeye thing there.
All right. We need an appropriate sound effect for a second main mission.
Unable to comply. Internal scanner relays have been damaged.
Again.
I blame Charlie.
Yeah, pretty much. He trashed stuff on the way out. Let's see. So, Chuck, do you want to give us the lowdown on this one?
Sure. Episode 7, I Am Marla, written by the usual cast of characters, based on the story from the guy before, and directed from the guy before.
No, that's cheating.
Rewind about an hour, you'll hear it again.
Yeah.
Forging a tenacious alliance, Khan's followers and the Elborians work toward possible mutual survival. As Khan weighs hard choices affecting both peoples, tragedy strikes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, it's a tenuous alliance, but tenacious, I think, would also work for
Tenacious.
this. I think they both are appropriate.
Yeah.
All right.
And we have a picture of these nice simmering hot springs.
You like those hot springs?
That's cruel.
They're so
Beautiful.
lovely.
Yeah.
They're nice and peaceful.
Yummy.
Nothing-
Yeah, till you get bit.
Yeah,
Spoiler
bit.
alert.
Yeah. Big spoiler alert.
All right, so let's first talk about we kind of touched on this in the last episode because we've got another interaction here that we want to address. This is the cover. I think part of this is we mentioned it kind of confusing these two because they're very similar. This is Tuvok questioning Dr. Lear apparently during tea time or something about the recording that she received because she revealed that she got the recording from Delmonda. And so he's asking, well, how did you happen to, why did he pick you for this? And she's, giving this, well, I did my thesis on this and about this, and I'm interested in that and the other thing.
Sexy
And,
topic.
yeah. And she's okay. Well, why did you choose that topic? Well, because of it. And have you ever heard from Delmonda again? Nope. That was it. That one time, I blew him off after that. And Captain and Tuvok gets up and says, well, I will report my findings to Captain Sulu, and I believe you're lying to me.
Yeah. And the next time we speak, we will be working from a common baseline. That's when she gets all flustered.
Right. Because she's now realizing that he's going to be very, very closely scrutinizing everything that's in these logs. And you get the impression that she really hasn't been very forthcoming about anything she's come across by this point. So that is interesting. So we start to, get interested going, well, what is she worried about? Why is she so upset? I mean, it's okay to be upset about the fact that she's being spied on, but still it's more than that that's going on. She's going, oh, no. Like, this is bad. This is bad. Like, why is that bad?
Yep.
So I don't know. Okay. So we have to deal with Ivan. It comes down to Khan and Delmonda are having this discussion about how they're going to work together.
Yeah. How do we deal with this situation? And Khan says, well, one of our oldest tenets is, a life for a life. And Delmonda says, we want, the punishment to be a teaching, not so much so punitive like that. So he says, and somehow they come to an agreement, but it's on the side of Delmonda's coin that says, yeah, if you kill him, then nobody learns anything. But it was another moment where Khan, we sort of sanded off yet another rough edge.
Mm-hmm. Right, because he's still not really super convinced about all this, but he's listening at least. I guess that's what you can say. He's listening, taking a couple of notes, gonna mull the thing over about what to do because, again, his default is a life for a life.
Yeah.
Right.
And you get a sense that is kind of all of their default way because that's what they were born to do, to think that way, to be very reactive, to be very cautious, to be very aggressive in dealing with an enemy, a different situation, scope it out, analyze it, but then act and do something, and probably something that's not going to be of benefit to whoever they've been studying to do the thing to. So the fact that she's gotten him to, Marla's got him to at least have these thoughts about maybe this is a thing. I don't understand it, but maybe it's a thing. I'll mull it over. And speaking about mulling it over, they're mulling over the name of the kid.
Yeah. What was it? Penelope was one of them, and they gave the reasons why that was such a great name. And
I like Con Jr.
Yeah.
I thought honestly they might have come up with Connie.
Con.
Oh my.
Uh,
I think Marla would have said, no, not that.
It was close though.
How about Marla Jr.
They came up with Collie, which
Mhm.
sounds like a dog, but
Collie.
Well, Khan identifies Kali as the goddess of time, death, love, violence, and absolute empowerment.
I
was
thought that was Penelope.
No, not Penelope. No, that's Kali.
Wasn't Penelope Hades' wife or something in the underworld?
Isn't that
I think
Persephone?
one of the names-
It is Persephone.
Oh, that was Persephone. You're right.
I think one of the names that they cut out was Pippi Longstocking.
Yes.
They definitely threw
They
Christ.
did have it on the short list, but
Sure.
just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah.
And Khan has his reasons for it because as Marla points out, well, that's a lot of heavy responsibility to lay on a little kid.
Yep.
To have this name that there's invokes worship of a goddess and so forth, and he makes the argument that, well, she kind of is, because she's actually made me begin to think about eternity, that even before she's born, she's changed our lives. I mean, has that kind of power to do this thing. And so he's very much pushing this name in spite of all the names like Jewel and so forth that Marla's put out. And she listens to the reason and she goes, okay, Kali it is. So we have to remember that name, Kali, for a while now.
That's how they were trying to pick a stripper name for her.
Candy.
Desire. What?
That may have been a separate conversation in that other episode I was saying that was the After Hours episode. I don't know about that.
I'm not sure what episode I was listening to.
I don't know, but whatever it is, we should find them again.
The unedited version.
All right, but then they get down to talking about, now that that's squared away, they get down to talking about, okay, making the alliance work with the Elborians and having to deal with Ivan. And Marla is concerned that Khan does not see Ivan as the threat that she clearly sees him being. I mean, they never hit it off between the two of them, but I think what he did to the Elborians is probably like, okay, that's really, I think we've gone way too far and something has to be done here. By the way, don't go swimming in that hot spring now. I'm just pointing out. So anyway,
a pill bug, tuck and roll just showed up.
yeah.
I wasn't looking at the video. I flipped over to it and went, "Whoa!"
Yep. So anyway,
Tried to knock it off my screen.
Bugs in your software.
you don't want to do that. And again, it's another case where she's saying, well, you have to work with Del Monte. You have to you're like the co-captains, if you will. You both are supposed to be the leader, and he's going, you do realize what you're asking me to do.
Yeah.
This is not who I am. And she says, well, time for something new.
It's also not who Del Monte is, if you think about it, because they are a collective. Yet for him to emerge, and it's probably putting him in a very uncomfortable position of being a leader among, sort of this unified, homogenous collective.
Oh, by the way, they also make a reference to Xanadu, which got my attention because of, that Xanadu, but that's not the Xanadu we're talking about.
Newton-John.
Yeah, we're not talking about that one.
Oh.
But then he says, well, we're not calling the cave Xanadu. It's just, why do you hate Coleridge? Why do you love him? What about Wordsworth? So they go back into that whole thing back and forth. And that is important.
Truth is duty and duty is truth. And oh my gosh.
Yeah. But that is important. And we'll find out why before this episode is over. All right. So
Xanadu, the state.
no, we're not. No, now you're suddenly doing Citizen Kane. I don't know.
Or Mystery Science Theater.
Cost, no one can say. But Yakim Paolo and Erica, apparently Paolo now has Ivan's boombox because they've taken everything out of Ivan's
Right.
quarters that is not absolutely necessary. And apparently the boombox was not a necessary thing.
You could weaponize it.
You could MacGyver that thing, the heck out of that thing.
Did someone say MacGyver's?
No, not MacGyver's, MacGyver. Anyway.
She pops in from off stage. I'm here.
Yes. Oh, it's a running gag. Hold on. So they're listening to that, and suddenly two of the Elborians come along, and we got
Wait a
two
minute.
more names.
Wait a minute. So you already talked about Ivan being kicked out, right?
Well, he's not been kicked out yet.
Oh, that's
They're
right.
They're still deciding what to do with him.
All right. Getting ahead of myself. Sorry.
But so these Elborians, we get two more names of Elborians. We're not gonna. I don't know if I think we reference one of them at least one more time. So remember Kimura, but Oretta. I don't think apparently they're all in an A, like a Kimura, Oretta, Damanda.
Hey, when you say Del Monte, I keep thinking of Del Monte, the
Yes.
vegetable.
Yes.
Marla. Is
Well,
she
that-
Elborian?
Well, that's
Ursula.
is she? Because she ends in an A.
Ursula,
Ooh,
yeah.
And Erica.
Mhm.
Ooh, makes you
Ivan.
wonder. Yeah, as long as you drop the N,
Yeah.
it ends with an A as well.
Iva.
So the first of all, the Elborians are like, well, we're gonna leave because don't hurt us, don't, nice people, don't hurt us. And they said, we're not gonna hurt you. We're here doing stuff. What are you doing here? Well, we're working on the spaceship. The what?
No, a
The what
telescope.
now?
They first had a telescope, and
Right.
they bonded over. We're watching chunks of the planet fly at us too, and then then they said, well, "What's all that happening over there?" Oh, we're building a spaceship. Are you leaving us? No, we're building a spaceship for you. You are.
Huh?
And what is that thing you because they had the music playing and they kind of gravitated towards, we really like that music. You've never heard anything before? It's like, hey, stupid, they don't have any vocal cords. What are you they're
Yeah.
not exactly gonna sing along.
Right.
So he said, well, you tell me all about the spaceship and I'll play all the music you want.
Mhm. Of course, there's only 5 tunes on this thing, but still, all the music you want.
Hope you like Christmas music.
Yeah, it's interesting because the aliens, they always seem to like the music. I don't know what it is about that, but
3 of the 5 tracks are Mariah Carey.
and one of them is if you could be out during one of these competitions if you hear that song, so don't want to play that one. Yeah, it was interesting because they're both Paolo and the Elborians are using the telescopes, but they're using it to look for launch vectors, and Paolo was using it to track the debris on its way to the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So one's looking over there and the other one's looking over there.
Right.
Yeah.
We got it covered here and there. It's all covered. We check in on Mado, who's not wanting to eat. Ursula's trying to nurse her back to health, and she feels like Mado feels like Ursula is mad at her for the loss of the child, and it turns out, no, not really at all. She says, well, can't make the cave-in happen. Yeah, but I hit the wall. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at somebody else. And she is just had it with Khan, that she feels like this whole listening to the aliens and this whole plan about going to these caves and everything is what led to all this. And why is he doing this? Why is he just, becoming buddies with them? And Mado makes the argument that, well, you have to trust in Khan. She says they remain Khan's loyal servants, so they die. And Ursula says, I think we remain Khan's loyal servants and we die.
Yeah.
That was a bright outlook.
There's no choice here.
So she's been irascible as any Starfleet doctor, and it's not getting any better at this point.
Waiting for Mado.
Yes, exactly. I think I saw that play recently. I don't remember.
Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter.
Yeah. All right. Now we reach a point where first of all, Marla is leading the others to the cavern. And I thought that was strange. It's like, well, they've clearly been to the cavern before.
Yeah.
Hi ho, it's to the caves we go.
Because they were in there having a cave in. They've been
Cave
Take a sleep in.
Sit in.
yeah.
Sit
They
in,
had
to sleep
sit
in,
in
to
and-
cave
and
in.
a cave in.
That's very appropriate. I like that.
It's a happening. But
They used to do those in the 60s all the time.
and Yakim and Erica were there, trying to catch fish and see so it's like people know where the cave is. You don't have to lead them to the cave, but she leads them anyway and then says, okay, so what I'm going to do when I get there is I'm just going to relax in the hot springs. And Khan says, but you don't know how to swim. Well, I'll just
hang on the side.
Wait a minute. Pregnant women aren't supposed to get in a hot tub or anything like that.
Well, maybe Ursula's giving her some bad advice. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you a midwife, Ursula?
Well, middling. No, not middling. No, never mind.
More of a large to extra large.
And so Khan says, well, I want somebody to be standing guard outside when you do this. And she says, okay, worry wart, but I'll, so you be safe.
Worry
And I will,
wart.
yeah. And I will see you when I get back to the caves. Okay, fine. So she goes off to lead people who already know where they're going, okay, we thought you were useless before, but now clearly they're useless.
You confirmed our suspicions.
Yeah. We get a quick scene with Ursula talking to Ivan, and he reveals his entire plan to her, and she's like, "Yeah, whatever. I don't know how to feel about the fact you're going to try to kill Khan, but if you try to do it,
don't miss.
Be sure you do."
He's going to try it with poisoned vodka.
Right. Well, it's a wine. They mention it is
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
it's your favorite. Come on over.
What was the name of the?
Not the Bordeaux, but
and it's a Barolo, which is apparently the minimum alcohol content of that type of wine is 13%. So
minimum. Okay.
Minimum was that. All right. So Khan and Delmonte come to an agreement about what to do with Ivan. And so Khan's going to go off to deal with Ivan. Meanwhile, Marla decides it's time to go and take her hot springs bath, which being pregnant, she shouldn't do in the first place, apparently.
Right. Yeah.
And she does that, but something bites her. Because there's eels.
I couldn't quite figure out. Don't they normally go in through your ear?
Well, as we discussed before, one of the things that happened was when I forget.
Is it Joaquin?
What? No, not. Let me look over the list of deceased.
Wasn't the baby
when Silvana was attacked? Even though they got it off of her, it was crawling up her leg.
Oh, okay.
So they make their way.
Oh, that's right. Ear, yes, that's right.
And apparently this does the same. Makes
its way to her ear. She gets hauled out. They take a look at her. Go. By the time they get her to the quote unquote infirmary,
yeah,
it's already wrapped its way around the cerebral cortex, and there were a couple of Elborians there saying,
yeah, the doctor was
that's that.
The doctor was, it didn't end with an A. Tamaris was the doctor, the Elborian doctor, who says, all right, well, look, we can save the child by slowing down the progress of the parasite, but that means basically end of the line for Marla.
Mm-hmm.
And Khan goes into his deep suspicious mode again, like, why? I think you're purposely trying not to save her so you can have my compliance.
Right. So I was always thinking about the alternate motives, ulterior motives for what's going on. And clearly that's not the case.
Trying to unravel schemes.
Right. Because Ursula essentially agrees with them, even though she at first was like, why is this doctor and Meadow says, well, you said you couldn't do anything for her, and the larva is already in, wrapped around a cerebral cortex. So let's see what they can do. Because Khan's saying, well, kill it with your mind powers. And they say, well, it's not really going to, it's not going to help. It's not going to mean anything. So Ursula is the one who's going to administer something that will keep Marla alive, but she'll be gone as well. But the baby can still be carried to term. And she says to Khan, well, hold her hand, talk to her. Don't let her do this alone. And he quotes Coleridge, Kubla Khan. That's what he's quoting at the end. That he's quoting Coleridge to her as this is happening.
Revenge is a dish best served.
No, not that. So that was like, remember Coleridge and this whole discussion about Xanadu, because it's going to come back.
That was some good acting. I gotta admit, that was some good acting on his part.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it was kind of surprising. It's a bit, I don't know, almost a bit disturbing, because Khan breaks down and cries. He just just bawling.
That's the most vulnerable we've seen him. Or they've seen the character, actually.
But right before that, he wasn't so vulnerable because he realized that Ivan was going to poison him. And they had a fist fight, and then he banished Ivan from everything. You're going to go someplace and you're going to die.
And come into those caves, we'll kill you.
Wait, what did Ivan say?
Which time?
Khan!
Oh, yes. 3 times. 3 times.
I'm not going to play it.
It's like Beetlejuice.
Come on. You want to.
It was just like Ivan.
So,
you are in error.
No, we're not.
Yes, I am.
All right. So we started with 6 losses in this episode, and now we're up to 7, adding Marla, attacked by an eel in Hot Springs.
She's not quite dead yet.
Well, for our purposes, she is. So
shut up. You're not fooling anyone.
And it's interesting that, I liked what Khan did when he banished Ivan, because he can tell the truth to Delmonda that, well, he fought me and I had to do something about it. And it's almost like he played out the whole scene, because he knew already that there was poison in the wine. So
and you knew that wasn't going to work because he's still alive in Star Trek 2.
Yeah.
Right. So he pushed all the buttons to get Ivan to battle him. So if Delmonda is even kind of like edge of his mind probing Khan, is like, well, that's true. They did have a fight, and and it was a very, very intense fight, and he had to do something as a result, because clearly he wasn't unable to change. So Ivan is feeling like everyone is warping Khan's mind, and now he wants to be in charge. And it's like, nope, you're now the guy who's over there someplace.
Yeah, poisoning your mind.
So an interesting episode. I mean, we knew that Marla was going to go at some point. So this was it.
And we knew she was going by Seti Eel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what was that Khan said in Star Trek? The Wrath of Khan? 25 people, including my beloved wife.
Yep.
Yes. And this is where that sticks in there.
Yep. All right. So let's see. Let's go on. What do we got for rating on this? How about
Seti Eels?
Okay, now we can do Seti Eels, because I think this is the appropriate time for Seti Eels. Yes, now is the time. All right, so we'll start with you, Chuck.
I'm going to give this one 8 Seti Eels. I like the way it fit in. I really liked the acting on all parts. It really started to resonate. I was literally trying to picture the actor playing Khan crying into a microphone, and I was having a difficult time. That's how good it was. I could not take that scene out and have him standing there, crying over a sheet of paper on the podium. But that was just me as an audio producing kind of guy. But
have you listened to our shows? I cry over a microphone all the time.
But that's a different reason altogether.
Yeah.
as noted, Ivan is becoming more of a part of this arc. I don't think we've seen the last of him, even though he's been banished. So that's just my sneaky suspicion that he will play a part again in a later episode. What are we on? 6 and 7? So we only have 2 more to go, 8 and
That's
9.
right. That's right. Next
Okay.
time we'll be
So
wrapping
in
her up.
2 weeks,
Right.
we're going to wrap this thing up. I really, really enjoyed this. I think it's in full stride at this point.
All right, I'll go next, and then we go up to Craig after that.
Sure. Right.
I'm gonna give it 8.5 because I didn't like the fact that we had the scene with Ursula talking to Ivan, because essentially we get the entire plan told to us, and then like 2 scenes later, the entire plan is being played out.
Well, if he's going to be on his way out, he's got to plant some seeds.
Right,
So I think he's sowing some dissent, even if he's not going to take command. He doesn't want, Khan to become this pacifist in his eyes.
right. And I think that he and Ursula had conversations prior. So it was not unsurprising that when she came in and he revealed his plan, that she didn't just say, I'm going to tell Khan or go for it. She was just like, I don't know how I feel about it one way or the other, but if you're going to do it, just do it.
With a name like Ursula, would you trust her? I'm sorry.
Her name isn't Smuckers, as I suppose so.
Disney kind of ruined that name for me.
Oh, I see.
Hmm.
Yeah. So 8.5 for me. And what about you, Craig?
I'm also gonna go 8.5. I thought the voice acting was great. I like the connections to Khan that we're starting to see a little bit more of. And you lost Marla, which is Khan's last connection really to humanity and compassion.
Mhm.
So we're starting to, I think we're going to start seeing obviously a big turn, because we only got 2 episodes left for him, because he doesn't have that anchor anymore.
Let the unraveling begin.
That's right.
Although I suppose it was already unraveling, because one of the reasons that Khan gets so upset with Ivan is because essentially Ivan let slip that he's the one that killed Hugo by pushing him off that cliff.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, this is all going bad. Everything's bad.
Mhm.
Things bad here, bad there, everywhere bad.
And they got crap coming at them, from space
Yep.
already.
So yeah, and yeah.
Are you calling the Elborians crap?
I am calling whatever I'm calling them whenever I call them.
Del Monte.
The elves. I love how they shortened that up.
Yeah,
It took
the
me a
elves.
while to figure out what. I thought they were saying elves at first.
Yeah. Elves.
Can we have another race on this planet?
They're holed up in that hollow tree over there. Quick, get them. Anyway,
And they're making cookies.
all right. So when you want to set up this warp speed roundtable question, Craig?
Yeah. So if the kids were sharing music with the Elborians, so we thought, what song would you play on Ivan's boombox to introduce the Elborians to Earth culture? I've got one in mind.
Okay. Well,
You want to hear it?
no, yes, go ahead. I thought
Dare to Be Stupid from Weird Al.
and they go, you have to dare to be that, but I didn't dare you,
yeah,
and you're being that
think
way in
you
front of
just-
me, but
I think you
It
could
is
be it.
illogical.
Yeah, I think you could just be stupid. Yeah, so I don't know.
I'd
Go
have
ahead.
a double-sided one just to say, all right, you want to know about Earth culture? Fine. I'm gonna hear us 2 songs. We can do a mix if you want to. This is We Didn't Start the Fire and The End of the World as We Know It.
I had End of the World as we know
More,
it.
Yeah.
more culture you want to have in 2 songs. That's right.
Yeah.
All our songs are just a list of things. Every song we have is just a list of things.
You took mine. It was going to be End of the World as we know it. And I can't remember what my B-side was now. It'll come to me probably after the show's over.
Just don't play Bruce Springsteen's Fire.
Yeah.
And we'll just revert back to Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Okay. And then you play
That'll
it,
drive
go,
them nuts.
yeah, you play that and you play Last Christmas. You go, okay, now you guys are out. What?
Yeah.
Just saying. Well,
Christmas
if you,
at Ground Zero, another Weird Al.
yeah, see, there you go. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. Anyway,
That's
they actually do.
right. They do. Yeah.
So
Listeners, let us know.
yeah, let us know what you would put on there in Ivan's boombox to introduce the Alborians to Earth's culture. It could be anything. Hey, it could be Beethoven. It could be rap. It could, who knows? But
It could be that Beastie Boys song they keep using.
it could be sabotage. Yeah,
Sabotage. Like what?
it could be. It could be.
They must have been trying to save some money. They paid for the rights to use that one song, and they just used it several times.
Well, at least they're better than, what was it? I think it was Chili's. Chili's used the song apparently without the rights and got sued by the Beastie Boys and lost. So
The Beastie Boys get to eat there every Friday for free.
pretty much.
Here's your gift cards. All right, we're sorry.
Yeah, because they're stolen.
What?
All right. That said, it's time to refill the dilithium chamber and try as best we can to warp on out of here.
If the Alborians will let us.
Yeah, I mean, they should be able to.
We have to make it through the debris field. There's a small window.
Yeah.
So you can find me, Clinton, at Comedy Forecast, all one word with the number 4.com. As I mentioned before, I had just finished up the Dog Days of Pumpkin Spice season. I'm just about to release, I don't think it'll be, well, I'm trying to figure out if it's just before or after Thanksgiving. I want to do this depending on what I think is going to make the most sense. But it's going to be another special episode. My patrons got to hear the entire show that I'm going to release, and this is going to be like little snippets from it of a very special episode. So look for that coming real soon. And who speaks for you guys?
Chuck does.
Okay. If you haven't been on this show before, you probably don't know that Craig and I also do another podcast called Technorama. You can find it by searching for Technorama Podcast wherever you find fine or semi-fine podcasts anywhere.
Bottom of the barrel.
The $2 bin at Walmart where they're getting rid of old
That's right.
DVDs.
VHS section.
Beta.
Ooh, classy.
We don't have the budget for VHS.
We didn't even make it a laser disc. Wow.
We got that the RCA laser vision or Intellivision or whatever it was. Okay. All right. Time to hit the theme, boys.
Done.
If you like the show, please be sure to tell a friend about it and subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'd love to hear from you. Follow us on Blue Sky at The Topic is Trek. Visit our Facebook page, or you can call us at 816-TREKKER. That's 816-873-5537. 816-TREKKER. Until next time, on behalf of Chuck, Craig, and myself, I'm Clinton, thanking you for listening. And as we always say here on The Topic is Trek, don't
put
on
the red shirt.
I'll just go ahead and take it off.
No. It's one of those after dark things we were talking about with the Con episodes. Don't do that.
No.
There we go.
Alrighty.
Con.
Okay. Well, thank you for watching us live on the YouTubes. And if you're catching us afterwards, or YouTube or Facebook, I guess, and thank you for watching us there. Also, if you're listening to the audio, you're not hearing this part, but don't forget, you can also listen to the audio version of the podcast if you'd like to do that. But here you get the graphics, the lovely graphics. And I spent a little bit of time there on that opening one, so I want to give it like a second or two more.
And you see that I got my Wrath of Khan shirt on.
Yes. So every grave is one of the versions of those movies we talked about, and the people who were involved with it. So
you need to post that in like the Star Trek memes on Facebook or something.
Yeah, really. The next one is for you.
J.J. Abrams looking like the Grim Reaper.
It's even is so optimistic that the Goldstein Daily thing is going to go down in flames in 2027.
It's open. It's not closed. It's not covered over. It's, they can avoid that. Kirk.
Marty, we need to get back in time so we can change the outcome and won't kill it off.
Bye-bye, everybody.
See you.
Someone gonna hit the button?